Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm at the UK Games Expo 2018, and today I'm joined by
Mark, Steve,
and we've just played, now give me a second, Teotihuacan, I think, something like that.
Which is a kind of spiritual successor to Zolkin. It's by one of the same designers. And let me just zoom out here so you can see the board. It's like a giant rondelle. So these spaces around the outside, your dice actually represent workers, and when it's your turn, you'll take one of your dice and you move it up to 3 spaces. So I could go 1, 2, 3 spaces if I want to, and you take the action that's here. Essentially, you're trying to gather resources. You've got stone, gold, and wood in order to build the temple or pyramid thing. You can see on the box here, they're sort of building a pyramid. And I should say that this is the full game in terms of the rules, but it's all prototype components. So you can see there's like cardboard little tiles here, but the real thing will have nice, chunky, hard things. So you're trying to build up this with the resources. You've got 3 main spaces around the outside, like this one gets you gold, this one gets you stone, and this one gets you wood. And there's a table here, which depends on how many dice are moving there. So for example, if there were already 2 colours of dice here, and you moved one of your dice here, you've got to pay for the number of colours of dice here. The currency in the game is cocoa, so you pay cocoa for the dice. And then depending on how many colours or how many dice you've got here, you can activate the appropriate row. So that'd be 1 dice, 2 dice, 3 dice, but also the number on the dice matters for which section you get. So you look at your lowest dice, in this case that'd be 1, it's 2, so I'd get 1 wood. This symbol here, you can see, means that you get to upgrade one of your dice to a 2. So now when it moves on later in a later stage, imagine I were to move here like this, you look at your lowest dice, which would be 2, so I'd now be in this column, 2 dice, so I'd get 2 wood this time. So you can see in the higher numbers and more dice arriving, you can potentially get an awful lot of stuff from these spaces. So you're getting your resources from these spaces. When you go to this space, you can sort of build on the pyramids. You kind of start off on level 1, but then as they build up, you can see you can build on level 2 and level 3, etc. So you're getting points. This is the point symbol. Depending on which level you're building, you're paying resources, so stone to build on level 1, plus a bit of wood to build on the higher levels here. And again, you can see the little table, depending on how many dice, how many tiles you can build at once here. You've also got stairs which go up the side. You've got to pay gold to build the stairs, and you can see sort of start at the sides here, and once that one's been built, you'd build it here, and then it kind of goes up to the top like this, and you're trying to match symbols. So you can see this one with the funny crocodile thing, and that one matches this symbol here. So if I put it here, for each symbol that you manage to match, you get an extra point. So putting it here, I'd get 2 extra points, plus 3 points for building would be 5 points. And you can see that you score your points around the outside, but also what you're trying to do is match the colours with anything underneath. So because I've matched this symbol and it's a green one, you get to move up on the temple tracks, which are very similar to Zolkin really. So you advance on the temple tracks, you get the stuff that you land on, so points or cocoa or wild resources, and you're also trying to get tiles. So there's a bit of set collection with these tiles. There's lots of different kinds of masks. You can see there's a different one underneath here. So you're getting triangular numbers each time you score for how many different kinds of masks you've got. So you want to move on the temples. A couple of other spaces briefly. There's a technology space, again quite similar to Zolkin. So you're paying gold to unlock technology. So this gives you extra resources every time you get resources. This gives you extra points when you're doing an action spaces like this one. This is giving you cocoa income each round. So there's a bunch of different extra technologies you can get there. And the interesting thing is, after everyone's taken 1 turn with the dice, you advance like a round tracker. So this keeps moving up here. And if you manage to upgrade one of your dice to a 6, wherever it's gone, then it also moves the round tracker an extra space, a bit like advancing the wheels an extra space in Zolkin. And you can unlock an extra worker or a couple of other different actions here, but that might allow you to get an extra worker, and the 6 gets reset to a 1. So that's one way you can unlock your extra worker there. But you keep playing until the white disc gets to the black disc, and then you do a kind of end of phase scoring. So you're scoring depending on how many of these pyramid things you've added, or stair things. There's a little tracker for that. You can get a lot of points for doing that. As I said, you're scoring your masks. You're getting triangle numbers for the masks. There's a thing where you can build houses for the workers as well, I think. So you can get points depending on how many of those you built. And as a lot of these games, you've got to pay for your workers. So depending on the values of the workers, you're paying cocoa, either 1 cocoa or 2 cocoa, for each of those kind of workers. Now, that's just a brief overview. Obviously, it's most points at the end wins. You kind of reset the scoring thing. There's 3 rounds you go through, but this keeps moving down each time, so the rounds become shorter, if you like, each round through. Full game is out at Essen, I think. But until then, what do we think?
I'm not going to take up too many time because Steve's going to gush over this in a minute or so. The comparison to Zolkin's fair. The resource gathering feels similar-ish, as does the lots of tracks that you can beating on higher up compared to everybody else. The better the advantage you're going to get, tracks resetting and stuff like that. It has that feeling. But for me, the rondels, I can get my head around it better than I could ever do the Zolkin wheels. My head just never clicked in with them. While this, I get it. I understand that the timing, because the timing of your dice hitting a 6, so you're going to lose the dice that's going to go back to 1 at the top, and you get a different bonus, so you're timing that, trying to make sure you might not want your dice to go over too soon, because you might want to get a really good score on a particular one. So there is timing involved, but I can see it easier. And for me, it's easy to get hold of. And I kind of like the little matching symbol puzzle in the middle. It's different. It's something that adds just a little bit of a different feeling to it. Yeah, ultimately, it's very, very good.
Right. Steve?
Lots of choice. The choices are quite simple, if that makes sense. So you've got loads of different things you can do. In the full game, the action spaces will be modular, so they will move around and be in different places, and the bonuses won't be fixed, they'll be modular as well, and the locked spaces, they'll be modular as well. And there's so many different bits and bobs that will be in the full game, and having just played this game, I thought this is great. It would take me a long time to master the setup in this game, and if that changes every game, it's just going to be even better. It's kind of, so you can plan ahead, which is great, but you don't have to plan so far ahead. In Tolkien, you're kind of going ons, offs, ons, offs, ons, offs. Is this guy going to be on or off am I taking him on or off by the time this guy gets to the space I want? Have I timed it right? Here it's much easier. You put a dice here, knowing that in a couple of turns' time you're going to have a few more dice there and you're going to take the big action you want to take. However, there's slight player interaction. It's passive interaction, that if you're in a spot with only your dice, you still have to pay Coco for just your dice, but not much. If you're trying to kind of build up in a spot where other people start diving in there, you might think, I can't actually take the action I want to have the Coco to do it. And that action you've been building up is kind of fizzled. So you've got to be aware that the Coco is like a necessary thing you need to be picking up throughout the game, but taking a whole action to gain 4 Coco just seems like, I'd rather have taken 2 golds, but I've just had to take Coco because I've just run out of steam. Obviously, this is just a preview. We only played a third of the game here, but yeah, I mean, look, this game's great.
Okay.
I've got one more point that I put up to your book. I came to this, the rules explanation, halfway through because I was off somewhere else. And even though I missed that bit of the rules explanation, a quick overview by Jonathan, two places of dice, got it. It's so easy to actually understand what I'm actually doing. That's really important. It's not going to be a nightmare to teach it everybody. And there's a lot going on, but actually for teaching it's really, really simple. Because I just got it, I missed off the explanation, but I didn't feel like I was behind other people when learning to play the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great as well. It's one of those where there just isn't enough time to do everything you want to do. The technology spaces that make the other actions better are great, so I quickly grabbed one of those. Then I was like, I want to get more resources now, and then I want to start to cash them in for points, and oh my goodness, the round's just ended, I've hardly got any points. So it's very easy to get sidetracked because there are so many things to do, but I want my Euros to be that way. You want it so that you never quite have enough time to do what you want to do, and from that point of view, I think it does a great job. I love the variability with all the, Steve was talking about the different modules that you can add for where the positions of the actions are, and all the various bonus tiles you can get. It's one of those that puts a whole pile of different mechanisms together, but it's very smooth. As Mark says, it just makes sense. It's very easy to play, despite giving you a lot to think about. So I thought it was fantastic.
All right, thanks for watching. That was Teotihuacan, maybe?